The Invisible Ceiling: How Black Women Entrepreneurs Are Changing the Game While America Isn't Watching. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today in what I believe will be a conversation that challenges how we think about entrepreneurship, opportunity, and the American dream itself. I recently had the privilege of interviewing Erica Neal, a visionary leader who has dedicated her life to documenting, championing, and creating pathways for Black women entrepreneurs across America. Erica isn't just researching this field, she's transforming it. Her groundbreaking work has helped hundreds of founders secure funding, launch businesses, and scale their visions in environments that were quite literally designed to exclude them. She's not just talking about change, she's architecting it. One entrepreneur, one investment, one system at a time. What Erica shared with me was nothing short of revolutionary. And today I want to take you on a journey through these insights that will fundamentally challenge how we understand success, barriers, and possibility in America. Let me start with something that might surprise you. Black women are launching businesses at a faster rate than any other demographic in America. Not just slightly faster, dramatically faster. They're driving innovation across industries, creating jobs, and generating billions in revenue. This sounds like an unqualified success story, doesn't it? A triumph of determination and vision that we should be celebrating from every rooftop. But here's where things get complicated and where Erica's insights become so valuable. Despite this entrepreneurial surge, Black women continue to receive less than 2% of all venture capital funding. Less than 2%. Let that sink in for a moment. 2%, not 22. Imagine if we told Olympic athletes they could only use 2% of the training facilities, or if we told doctors they could only access 2% of medical knowledge, or if we told engineers they could only utilize 2% of available materials. We would call it absurd, impossible, unjust. Yet, this is precisely the landscape that the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurs in America faces every single day. This disconnect challenges a fundamental assumption many of us hold, that increased visibility and success automatically translate into equitable support. The data tells a different story, a story where extraordinary talent meets extraordinary barriers. As Erica explained during our interview, this isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about real women with brilliant ideas who face systemic hurdles at every turn. It's about potential left unrealized, innovations never brought to market, and communities denied the benefits these businesses could provide. This is the invisible ceiling, a barrier that remains stubbornly in place even as Black women entrepreneurs shatter record after record with their initiative and ingenuity. During our conversation, Erica highlighted three key insights that I believe everyone in this room needs to understand, not just intellectually, but viscerally. First, Black women are powerful drivers of entrepreneurship. They're not just participating in the business world, they're transforming it. Often, they're launching businesses in response to systemic inequities they've experienced in traditional employment spaces. When doors were closed to them, they built their own doors. When ladders weren't available, they constructed their own pathways upward. Second, resilience and optimism fuel this progress. Despite facing higher unemployment rates compared to other groups, Black women continue showing remarkable confidence in their ability to overcome obstacles. This isn't blind optimism. It's a hard earned, battle tested belief in their own capabilities. This resilience isn't just admirable, It's essential for long term business success. Third, and perhaps most critically, access remains a significant barrier. Even as more Black women step into leadership roles, disproportionate challenges around funding, mental health support, and network access persist. Addressing these gaps isn't just about fairness, it's about unlocking tremendous economic potential that benefits everyone. To illustrate these points, Erica shared several powerful stories that demonstrate both the challenges and the innovative solutions emerging in this space. Consider Catherine Finney. She was working as an epidemiologist, tracking diseases, analyzing patterns, saving lives. But she noticed a different kind of epidemic: the near total absence of women who looked like her in the tech sector. Rather than simply accepting this reality, she founded Digital Undivided, an organization focused on supporting Black and Latina founders in tech. The challenges were immense. DID confronted entrenched bias in venture capital networks where less than 0.2% of all venture capital goes to Black female founders, not 2%, 0.2%, a number so small it almost disappears from the page. Catherine's response wasn't to write angry tweets or publish academic papers. She built an accelerator program called Big Incubator, which provided training, mentorship, and seed funding opportunities specifically designed for women of color. The results? Graduates from her programs have collectively raised millions in funding. Several have launched successful startups featured nationally. Over 200 companies have been supported since DID's inception, with multiple alumni featured on Forbes' Sunsets 30 under 30 inches list. But perhaps most importantly, DID has helped shift national conversations about inclusion in tech startup ecosystems. They've changed not just individual businesses, but the broader landscape of opportunity. Then there's Walker's Legacy, a global platform dedicated specifically to advancing economic equity for multicultural women entrepreneurs. Named after Madam C.J. Walker, the first self made female millionaire in America, Walker's Legacy was founded by Natalie Madeira Cofield after her own experiences with discrimination while building previous ventures. Members of Walker's Legacy faced exclusion from mainstream business networks and financial institutions due to racial bias. The organization responded by providing tailored workshops on pitch preparation and strategic networking events with investors sensitive to cultural context. The outcomes have been remarkable: increased loan approvals among members, measurable growth in member owned enterprises, revenues year over year, national chapters established across over 2 dozen cities, and partnerships with major banks that have committed millions toward minority women led startups. Perhaps most telling is the expanded representation of multicultural founders at local and national economic forums, a sign that the conversation is beginning to change, even if too slowly. The third story Erica shared was particularly striking. The Fearless Fund, an early stage venture capital fund created by Arian Simone, specifically invests in businesses led by women of color, with many grantees being Black women entrepreneurs. What makes this example so powerful is that the Fearless Fund hasn't just faced the usual challenges of raising capital. They've encountered legal threats challenging their focus on racial equity under new state and federal scrutiny post affirmative action rulings. This represents a unique obstacle even beyond the typical fundraising issues faced by women of color led funds and startups. Their response? They doubled down on transparency, reporting impact metrics while expanding partnerships with corporations aligned with diversity, equity, and inclusion goals. The results have been impressive. $26 million invested across dozens of companies led, founded, or co founded by women of color, including several now valued at over $100 million post investment. Ari and Simone started Fearless Fund after years working as an angel investor, witnessing countless missed opportunities due solely to systemic bias against women of color applicants, even those running profitable businesses. The fund has been awarded Most Innovative Venture Capital Firm and spotlighted nationally as a model for inclusive investing strategies despite ongoing legal and political headwinds. What these stories reveal is both sobering and inspiring. They show the tremendous barriers that continue to exist, but they also demonstrate the innovative, determined responses that are creating new pathways forward. As Erica emphasized in our interview, this isn't just about individual success stories. It's about recognizing a fundamental disconnect in our entrepreneurial ecosystem. We celebrate the fact that Black women are starting businesses at unprecedented rates, but we don't address the structural barriers that prevent these businesses from receiving the support they need to thrive and scale. This matters for everyone in this room, regardless of your background. When brilliant ideas don't receive funding because of who proposed them rather than their merit, we all lose. We lose innovations that could transform industries. We lose jobs that could strengthen communities. We lose economic growth that could benefit regions and the nation as a whole. The good news is that change is happening. Organizations like Digital Undivide, Walker's Legacy, and the Fearless Fund are creating new models for support and investment. They're demonstrating that when Black women entrepreneurs receive appropriate resources, they deliver exceptional returns, not just financially, but in terms of community impact and innovation. But as Erica pointed out, these efforts, while vital, aren't enough on their own. They need to be amplified and supported by broader systemic change. This is where each of us comes in. Whether you're an investor, a business leader, a policymaker, or simply someone who cares about creating a more equitable and innovative economy, you have a role to play. I want to leave you with this. The greatest untapped economic resource in America isn't hidden in the ground. It isn't waiting to be discovered in some lab. It's walking among us in the form of Black women with brilliant ideas who simply need the same access to capital, networks, and support that others take for granted. The question isn't whether Black women can build successful businesses, they're already doing it against staggering odds. The question is whether we have the courage to dismantle the systems that make their path so unnecessarily difficult. What if we created a world where entrepreneurial success was determined by the quality of ideas rather than the color of skin or gender of the founder? What kind of innovations might emerge? What problems might be solved? What wealth might be created? Not just for individuals, but for communities that have been systematically excluded from prosperity. I challenge each of you today. Examine your power, your networks, your resources. Ask yourself honestly, am I part of maintaining the invisible ceiling, or am I actively working to shatter it? The entrepreneurial revolution led by Black women isn't just changing business, it's offering us all a chance to reimagine what an inclusive economy might look like. The only question is whether we'll have the wisdom to invest in it. Thank you.